Thinking and communication question on midpoints of triangle. In triangle ABC, D 3 5 is the midpoint of side AB, E 5 7 is the midpoint of BC, and F 4 3 is the midpoint of AC. Find the coordinates of A, B, and C. Well, this is a very interesting question, and you really need to think and apply all your knowledge to get the answer. So what we will do is that we'll just make a rough sketch and then figure out the solution. So let's say this is our triangle ABC, right? So I'm just drawing not to the scale, just a general triangle. And let me write down the sides, the vertices first as A, B, and C. Now what is given to us here is point D is midpoint of AB. So for this side, AB, we have the center point given to us, and that point is D, and D is 3 5. Then we are given point E, which is 5 7, and it is midpoint of BC. So 5 7 is E, and that is midpoint of BC. And then we are given point F, which is midpoint of AC. Point F is 4 and 3. Now the question is to find the coordinates of point A, B, and C. So that is a question. Now how will you do it? So what you have learned is that if you join these midpoints, let me join them, then what do you get? A couple of things. One, this side is actually parallel to this side. So when you join midpoints, then you'll find that the sides are parallel and their length is half. So the length of DE is half the length of AC. This is one thing. Second, DE is parallel to AC. Similarly, you'll find that FE is parallel to AB, right? And this is the midpoint. And you'll also find AB to be twice as long as FE. Or you can say that FE is of the same length as AD, right? Similarly, if you consider this line, which is DF, then DF will be parallel to EC and also exactly same. It kind of makes a parallelogram. Do you see that? Does it give you an idea? So, if you think about it, we could actually find the points by looking at how they get translated once they move from here to there. So for example, let's consider this point in a coordinate system. So in that case, you'll find that the x point changes by 1 unit and the y changes by -2 to get to F. Similarly, if I do like that here, that means if I change my x by 1 unit and y by -2, I should get the points of C. Does it make sense to you? Think about it. That is why this is a thinking and communication problem. Think, communicate, and get the answer. That is the gist of it. So, let's do it, and then we will try to check our answer. Okay, that's not a bad strategy. So what I'm going to do is, I'm checking these 2 points, and the difference between the two is by 1 and -2. So I'm maintaining that same difference here. So what I'll do, I'll increase 5 by 1, and what I get here is 6, and about 7, I will decrease it by 2, as that is the difference, correct? So I'll write 5 here for C. So there, okay, let me do this part now. Similarly, what I will do is, when I'm checking these 2 points, I'm actually comparing them with E and F. Now E to F, 1 less than x. And let's do 1 less than x first. 1 less gives me 2. How about y? 7 to 3 is 4 more. 4 more will give me 9. So that's how I get that number. Now how do I get B? Well, one way is assume this to be the midpoint and find B. The other way is to extend the same strategy, right? So the strategy now is Now when I move from A to D, I'm adding 1 to X. Let me add one more and get to B, right? So it becomes 4 for me. And here for Y, when I get from 9 to 5, it is -4. So -4 from 5 gives me 1. So that is 4 and 1 for me. If I go from this side, does it work the same? That will be a good check. 6 to 5 is 1 less and 4 is 1 less. Perfect. How about this? 5 to 7 is 2 more, but 1 is not 2 more. So there is some mistake. There's definitely some mistake. So what has happened? We need to check it out. So what has happened? We need to check it. So we'll do it again. So we did what? Here I think there's a mistake. 7 to 3 was 4 less and I did 4 more, right? So it should have been 1 here, right? So let's correct it. So 4 less is 1. So when I move up, it is 1 to 5, which is 4 more. So 4 more will give me 9 here. Good job. Now let us check. So when we check from here, the X points 1 less gives me 4. And for the Y points, 5 to 7 is 2 more and 7 plus 2 is 9. That's how you get it. Okay, great job done. So we finally get the points A, B and C, and we get A as equals to 2 and 1, B as equals to 4 and 9, and C as equals to 6 and 5. 6 and 5. Okay, let me write like that. So finally we get our points A, B and C. Now let us check, is 3 and 5 really the midpoint of A and B? Because we did some mistake here. So let's check it out. So the midpoint of AB is D. So what should D be? Midpoint of A and B. So we'll add them, divide by 2. So it should be X points will get added. That is 2 plus 4 divided by 2. And the Y points will be 1 plus 9 divided by 2. So what do you get? You get here 4 plus 2 is 6, divided by 2 is 3, and 10 divided by 2 is 5, 3 and 5. So that works. So it works. So what you can do is, you can check the other 2 points also. They will work. So the strategy works. Do you see how we did this problem? Alternate way was, let them be x1, y1, x2, y2, x3, y3, and then do all the math to get the answer. That would have taken ages, right? Now here we applied our knowledge of similar triangles, you can say parallel lines, and then got the answer. So at times you may adopt non-traditional methods to get the right answer, and then it's a good idea to check while you're doing your work so that you don't land up with wrong answers, as I was just going to. Thank you. I hope you appreciate this method and like it. Thank you.